Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Business Extrovert. I'm Emma, your host. Today, we have a great story for you. It's a business case study. We will learn how a small coffee shop became a big brand. We'll talk about daily work, decisions, and how the owner made smart choices. And as always, we'll keep it simple and clear.
Hi, Emma. Hi, everyone. I'm Jack, and I'm happy to be here. I love talking about small businesses. I love stories where big ideas start small.
You know what fascinates me about business success stories? Sometimes the simplest goal, like wanting to make people smile when they drink coffee, can transform into something extraordinary. Today, we're exploring how one small coffee shop with a second-hand espresso machine grew into a beloved brand with 5 locations.
That's such an interesting perspective. How something as basic as serving coffee can become a masterclass in business growth. What really caught my attention about this story is how organic the whole process was.
Well, here's what makes Lisa's story particularly compelling. She started Sunny Cup Café at 25 with barely any capital, but she understood something many entrepreneurs miss. Genuine human connection matters more than fancy marketing strategies.
You know what's fascinating about that approach? Studies show businesses that focus on customer relationships have a 60% higher retention rate than those focusing purely on transactions.
Speaking of retention, let's talk about how she built those relationships. Instead of trying to compete with bigger chains, she created what marketing experts call micro moments, remembering customers' names, their usual orders, even asking about their families.
That reminds me of a recent Harvard Business Review study showing that emotional connections with customers can drive up to 50% more value than mere customer satisfaction.
And you can see how that played out in her business model. During those quiet early mornings, instead of getting discouraged, she used the time to perfect her service and create those connections. It's like what Warren Buffett says, time is the friend of the wonderful business.
Well, that's particularly relevant when you look at her growth trajectory. Rather than rushing to expand, she spent 2 full years perfecting her first location before even considering a second shop.
And here's something really interesting about her expansion strategy. Before opening that second location, she actually conducted informal market research by asking her existing customers if they would visit a downtown location. That's what business schools now teach as customer-driven growth.
So, if we look at the numbers, how did that methodical approach translate into business success?
Well, the data tells quite a story. She started tracking everything, from daily coffee bean usage to customer flow patterns. By year 5, she had grown from one shop serving maybe 50 customers a day to 5 locations serving over 2,000 customers daily.
That's exactly the kind of growth that catches attention in business case studies, sustainable and data driven.
You know what's particularly noteworthy about her financial management? She maintained a 15% profit margin even during expansion, which is actually above the industry average of 7 to 9% for independent coffee shops.
That level of financial discipline must have been crucial when facing competition, right?
Oh, absolutely. And here's where her story gets even more interesting. When a major coffee chain opened nearby, instead of trying to compete on price, she introduced what business strategists call value-added differentiation, new flavors, loyalty programs, and community involvement initiatives.
Well, that's similar to what Starbucks did in their early days, focusing on experience rather than just product.
Right. And speaking of community involvement, she implemented something really innovative, a monthly free coffee day for local healthcare workers. That program actually increased her regular customer base by 25% through word-of-mouth marketing.
That's fascinating because it shows how community goodwill can translate into tangible business results. Thank you everyone for listening to this episode. See you on Wednesday with some new interesting topic. Bye.